So who am I speaking with?
This is Chet Haase from Google.
Hey Chet, you just gave a phenomenal presentation and showing really all the features of ICS. And I was going to ask you, what are your favorite features? But you said, my favorite features are the ones I worked on. So tell me, what are the features you worked on?
So I worked some on hardware acceleration, which I think is an awesome feature because I think the more rich UIs of devices demand more performance so that the users actually get a smooth experience instead of one they don't like. I also like the animation features because I worked on them directly, and that also contributes to a rich UI and a more usable experience. And I just gave a talk, so I can only think of two off the top of my head.
That's quite all right. Have you seen or have you developed any actual applications using these features?
I develop small applications to test things out as well as to demonstrate and teach people how to use them. I'm not an application developer. I work on the plumbing internally, so I don't necessarily have the breadth of knowledge of developing the larger applications. Probably want to talk to app developers for those questions.
Well, that's quite all right. But tell me, of the two features that you worked on, what within them do you like so much that you're like, okay, developers are going to go crazy for this, this, and this?
I think for hardware acceleration, it gives developers the capabilities to access the kind of performance that they need to add richer features to their applications and to the overall experience of the phone and the devices. And I think for animations, again, it also gives them the capability to do richer things on the devices. We had animation capabilities already prior to 3.0, but the animation capabilities we've added since then are much more flexible and allows much more headroom for developers to express whatever they want to do in the system instead of being locked into what the system provided them.
Give me one example of that. Like with the old version, you couldn't do this, but with the new version, you can do this?
With the old version, you could animate several important properties of views. You could fade them in and out, and you could move them around on the screen, and you could change their orientation, but you could not change an arbitrary property of an arbitrary object. So you could not change, let's say, the layout parameters of a view. You simply couldn't do that. You would have to write manual code to change those over time. The new system allows you to say, well, here's an object that represents the layout parameters, and here are the values that I wanted to animate between start.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.